What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. It's official. The Giants have officially locked in their draft pick. So there is, let's see, Tennessee's ahead of us. Cleveland's ahead of us. The Patriots helped us out today, and they got us the third overall pick. We lost today, but we wouldn't have been able to make it happen without the Patriots going out there and winning. Joe Milton today. That could be a possible option for us. Joe Milton is out there balling. I mean, running around like Pat Mahomes, throwing lasers, like lasers. Joe Milton was a guy to win in the 6th round. The Giants refused to take quarterbacks. They refused to take quarterbacks. We have not taken one quarterback under Joe Shane. You all understand? We haven't taken one quarterback that you could say, oh, maybe we can develop this guy. Not one guy since he's been here. The last quarterback that we drafted was Daniel Jones. Before that, the last quarterback I think was Davis Webb, maybe. Or who even knows? But either way, no quarterbacks have been taken. No wonder your quarterback room is trash. So today, let's just run down the list. Drew Lock was 22 for 29. Putrid. 138, a touchdown and an interception. 29 attempts for 138 yards is nuts. Tyrone Tracy had a decent game as far as the yards per carry. He had a 16-yarder. Had a couple other nice carries. Malik Neighbors, leading receiver, 64 yards. Wan'Dale Robinson, 10 catches for a whole lot of nothing. Wan'Dale Robinson has 10 catches for 4.3 yards per carry. Basically, I'm saying per carry because it's basically like he was running the ball. Like, I liked what we saw from Wan'Dale Robinson last week, but this week it was more of the same. Why are we drafting this guy? Why are we taking a receiver so he can have the same average as a running back? He's getting 4, 5, 3 yards every catch, and it's ridiculous. So the Giants offense was nothing to write home about, which I expected. I didn't expect any defense to play this offense as bad as the Colts were. The Colts played this offense as bad as you could possibly play it. Tanner McKee, looking like a monster out there. 269, 2 touchdowns. 27 for 41, 100 quarterback rating. Will Shipley, I think that's his name. 32 yards. They couldn't run the ball on this. The Giants' backup defensive line is undefeated. You do not run the ball against guys on the Giants' defensive line. Like one of them whose last name is Garcia, who I've never heard of. But it doesn't matter what season, what game, you're not running the ball on this backup Giants defensive line. Jahan Dotson, 94 yards today. Goddard, 55 yards, was just carving up our secondary until he came out of the game. Easy stuff for the Eagles offense today. They just kind of just went on autopilot after they took that initial lead. And I'm just so grateful that the Giants didn't go out there and mess it up. Now, nobody cares about what we saw in the game today. Nobody cares. Let's get back to business. The Tennessee Titans are number 1. The Cleveland Browns are number 2. Now, we heard a lot of noise. That Deion Sanders would be someone who was going to, be against Shedeur Sanders going to certain places. He's come out and said that he's said nothing to any media members or Giants members or anybody, which I believe him. But he's never said specifically that he said more times than he hasn't that he would veto him going to a certain place. So me thinking in my head, I'm thinking that if there's any place that he's going to veto that he say was a trash franchise, because obviously he's fine with him going to the Giants from what we've seen lately, it would be him vetoing the Cleveland Browns or maybe the New York Jets. If it's the Browns or the Jets, I could definitely see him walking away. I could definitely see him saying Shedeur's not going there. So the first pick is Tennessee. If Shedeur goes to Tennessee, I see the Giants' chance at a quarterback is pretty much done. At that point, their shot is Shedeur's gone. So there's no chance of him not wanting to go to Cleveland and being able to, fall to the third pick. So Shedeur's gone at 1. So that means that Cleveland is going to either take Cam Ward or they're going to sell. I hate to say sell a person. I'm not going to do that. They're either going to take Cam Ward or they're going to trade the pick to the highest bidder. So that could mean them trading the pick to the Jets. that could mean them trading the pick to the Raiders, but the Raiders are all the way at 8. The Jets are at 7. You could say that the Giants have the inside track at trading up to get, Cam Ward at number 2. So that's possible. But what makes the most sense is them just taking Cam Ward. Now they're paying just Deshaun Watson a whole lot of money. So maybe they just say we'll give it one more shot and hopefully he can become old Deshaun Watson. But what makes the most sense is just taking Cam Ward, who a lot of people compare to Deshaun Watson, and seeing how that goes. I don't think that Deshaun has a dad that's an NFL dad that's going to veto anything, so he'll gladly go to the Browns, ruin his career, sadly. But I see how that's playing out. Now, number 3, the Giants will be looking at basically the best player in the draft, Travis Hunter. And it makes me think, like, is Travis Hunter the type of player that would succeed in New York? My gut tells me yes, but I've seen some things as far as his girlfriend and his fiance actually coming out. I've seen some things that makes me say, like, he let that affect him a little bit too much. And could he deal with what New York is going to bring to that? So, do you take Travis Hunter, who's the best player in the draft? Do you take Will Johnson, who I think may be the best corner in the draft? Or do you take Mason Graham, who arguably could be the best, purely defensive player in the draft? So all of those things would scratch the itch. All of those things would fix a need. But where do you go there? Or do you just say, let's trade it? Let's go back to, wherever, and then let's take the best player available there. That's possible too. But I see the Giants in that situation taking Travis Hunter. I think that makes a lot of sense. Or taking Will Johnson or taking any of the above that I just listed. And I could see that going that way. Another option could be you just trading back and just taking Jackson Dart. Or another option, I keep coming up with options. Pay very close attention to Penn State and these college football playoffs, because Drew Allar has it's already said that he's going to go back to college next year. But what's also been said is that if he has a spectacular college football playoffs, which he's already started on, if he has a spectacular postseason, he may redeclare for the draft. Like, he may come back and say, I'm going to go into the draft. Now, this guy's 6'5". He's 235 pounds. He has a cannon for an arm. He can move. He's agile. He can, change his arm angles. He's hard to sack. He makes very bad decisions sometimes. Has a lot of mental lapses. And who does that remind you of? Josh Allen. Not to say he'll ever be Josh Allen. We had another guy on the team that we tried to compare to Josh Allen. But teams seeing this guy could move him up. And the Giants could be at 3, taking a guy like Drew Allar. Or maybe Allar is the first pick. And they're taking Shedeur or Cam Ward at 3. So we do not know if we'll be outside of the quarterback sweepstakes or not. But the Giants, they won last week. They don't have their first overall pick anymore. It is what it is there. I think there's about 5 quarterbacks that I could say maybe could turn into a franchise guy. Jackson Dart is on the outside looking in, but you're not taking him at 3. But I'm just glad to see that this season is finally over. And we can get to looking forward to the draft. There's going to be a lot of content coming out. I've already gone through about 12 or 13 quarterbacks so far, a bunch of receivers. We're going to get started on the running backs and on everybody. And the content is going to be coming, and it's going to be coming soon. Not much else to say. They did what they were supposed to do this week. Congrats to the Eagles going out there and making sure we got it done. But the Giants are picking 3rd. You all let me know what you're thinking of this draft spot. Are you still bitter about last week? I feel like we could possibly be okay, depending on who make the pick, because Brian Dable looked pretty free out there today. We're hearing reports that they're both going to come back. Maybe that happens. And if so, I would rather them both be back than the one be gone and the other one. I do everything at once. Make them a package deal. I would love to see that. So, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. A lot of people are probably going back to work or going back to school or wherever tomorrow. That stinks, but we all got to go back. But at least we're going back knowing that the Giants are picking 3rd overall.